think if we have you in the centre, if that's okay, yeah. Work it. House. Well, that's nothing to follow there. Without second guess, please welcome the European champion for Great Britain, Dina Smith.
Just gonna smile.
Work it.
No, I'm joking.
And our final catwalk model is the triple Olympic medalist for Canada. Please welcome Andre de Grasse.
Are you going to do it?
And three of you together, please. Let's have the rose between two thorns. Make sure you get my impressive display of Muller yogurts into the picture as well, please.
Right, guys.
You're your name upside down.
This way, please. This way, guys. Thank you.
Okay, straight down at me, please. Thank you.
Dina.
All done? Thank you. So let's start with the ladies. Dina, I know you like to say hello on these occasions, don't you, as we introduce you?
Yeah.
The last time we saw you, I think, was at Birmingham Diamond League last year, and you'd had such a breakthrough in your fame standings that the lady at the coffee store at your local railway station was giving you free coffees, having worked out who you are.
One.
Has it not moved on from that?
No, obviously I haven't. No. But yeah, coming into the last time we've obviously spoken, I've spoken at British Diamond League. It was after Europeans, which was a great championship for me. So it's nice to be running in the UK again. Since then, it's been a long time, and I'm so excited to be running at home in a home Diamond League. And but yeah, no, it's been a bit of it's been a fun year, I have to say.
And we've seen you do chat shows, we've seen you, you're writing for the Telegraph on issues that matter to you, and you've done the front cover of magazines. Has that been part of a plan, or are you just taking the opportunities as your fame hits the spot?
I wouldn't call it fame, but no, it's definitely not been part of the plan. I've just been very fortunate to get a whole host of different opportunities, and sometimes being in track and field, sometimes I feel like you can be a good ambassador for the sport, and that's what I always try and do, just try and put my best foot forward and represent sportswomen and track and field in the best way that I can. And that sometimes means, although I do focus on training and making sure that I go to every sessions and I'm well rested and recovered to make sure that I can give my best every time I run, it does mean doing the occasional thing to kind of put the sport out there.
And as you become a greater and greater role models, who are or were your role models?
It's a very good question. Definitely, I think my role models change all the time. I have to say, like, Serena Williams is amazing, obviously, but I think I don't need to explain that one. Growing up in the UK, I definitely grew up in the era when David Beckham was like an incredible, he still is an incredible person, but incredible footballer, and there was that tale of when he used to go and practice all the free kicks in his spare time, so I'm definitely in tune with that. And then obviously just my family members as well. I've got a very, very strong and close family, so I'm very fortunate to have loads of inspirational people within that.
Have you met Beckham?
Me, no.
What would you be like when you met him?
I think that would be cool. I don't know. What kind of question is that? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool, I guess. I don't know.
So your season this year, it looks as though you started it at the normal time, but you've actually sort of spaced out your races a little bit more than you might otherwise have done. You missed the indoors. Is that a fair comment? Are you sort of pacing yourself in the countdown to Doha?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've all known the date of the World Championships for as long as it's come out. So we all know that we have to peak at the end of September, coming into the beginning of October. So my coach and I and my team, we just work backwards from that, and we work out the best plan to make sure that I'm in the best shape possible when you really want to be.
And you started your season racing 400 metres in a Kent League or a league match in Kent. And your mother has long had these ambitions for you to race 100 metres, 800 metres.
That's not going to happen.
Are you not getting close to that?
No, that's a long way. 400, I did 400, I was like, look, that's enough, I'm done, my coach is happy now, I did the work, I'm not involved, it's a long way, very long way, hard distance, and 800 is a big no.
So if we look at your competition schedule this weekend, you've got heats and finals of the women's 100 metres. Looking at the lineup, it looks like it could take close to a British record to win it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think probably, definitely. I mean, every kind of field that I've come into this year has been like a World Olympic final, and that's something that I feel like we're in a great position to be in the women's sprints right now, because whenever you step on the line, you know that you have to bring your best, and then you will, and then you deliver. But yeah, I mean, obviously you have to run really fast to win this Diamond League, as you would kind of the other ones as well.
And is everything on schedule? I mean, this time last year you were coming back, or you perhaps just come back from that difficult injury. Has it been a smooth year for you this year?
I was last year I was kind of injury free, so I was good last year. And but yeah, it's been fine. It's been just making sure that I'm continuing the hard training whilst racing and trying to hit my technical points when I'm running, but also making sure that I peak in October. So.
Was it the previous year you had the injury?
Yeah,
2017?
Yeah,
Time flies.
Yeah, it does.
So final question from me, and I'll ask the other two this as well. When you're competing at a meeting like this, if you get the chance, what's the one other event you look out for, either on the screen or if you can sneak into the stadium?
That's a good question. This weekend I'm going to be watching the men's 100 because James is running, and James is a really good friend of mine, so I'm really excited to see him. But apart from that, I actually really like watching the hurdles. Like, yeah, it's really entertaining.
It's a contact sport.
Yeah, contact. It is.
It's
It
a
is a
contact
contact
sport.
sport. Seriously, yeah, yeah. I always say I'd love to do hurdles one day, but I'm way too clumsy, so I don't think it would go too well. But yeah, I like watching the hurdles.
And when you get to the Olympics, if you can see one other sport, if your schedule allows, what's the other sport that you look out for?
Probably women's gymnastics. I think is really beautiful. I think it's amazing. Like their strength and coordination is something that I would like. Yeah, I would aspire to be that flexible and coordinated. So it's really cool.
Let's turn our attention to Omar at the end. Let's ask those two questions first of all. So, what do you like to look out for within a track program, if you could, track and field program, if you can catch it either in the warm up or in the stadium?
Well, definitely, because I'm British. You guys know I'm British. So definitely, I'm looking for sure.
You can continue.
I'm looking forward to the 100 and the 100. Is the 100 Grasse? You running the 100, right?
Yeah.
Whatever he said.
The women's 100, of course. You know, like I love sprinting. I'm a hurdler, but I love sprinting. That's one of my strengths also. Hopefully, when I'm done with hurdles, I'll love to switch over to full-time sprinting. But that's the event I'm definitely looking forward to.
And Olympic Games, the other sport that you like?
I love gymnastics. Me and Simone Biles are really good friends, and then tennis. Tennis is my favorite sport, so I love to go watch that.
But if we look at your lineup for the 110 metre hurdles, it looks on season's best, and also if you go back to last year, a fairly evenly matched contest. What are your thoughts on the men's sprint hurdles?
It's gonna be epic as always. You know, one thing I respect about hurdles is like every time you line up, you have to be on your A game. Like I said, hurdles is such a contact sport. It really is. You have to be in your P's and your Q's. Don't take none of the competitors for granted. Like I said, you have 10 obstacles in your way, and if you're not clean and technically sound, you're not gonna win. Period. So don't take it for granted. I'm just gonna go out there and put my best foot forward.
It's the last event of the day. Are you used to that, being the sort of showstopper, the men's sprint hurdles?
Nuh-uh, it's never been that way. It's usually the 100.
Because you're here.
It's because I'm here, you know? Yeah. Obviously, yeah, I love this place. I have a lot of great memories here, and this crazy thing is that ironically we're at the same hotel that we were in 2017, and crazy thing is I've got the same room. So I walked in and you can it was ridiculous. It was crazy. I was
How
like,
did you remember which room you were in?
I remember. I mean, it's worlds. You remember everything. You can play out everything. And I walked in and I was just over. You know, I was welcomed with a lot of emotions. I remember the exact same spot. Me and my mom was praying, and all the happiness, the joy, everything. It was crazy. So it's a great memory for me.
As somebody looking on the men's 100 metre scene in the post-Bolt era, what are your thoughts on the contenders that are emerging in that? You're not going to be completely neutral, but what do you think?
It's a lot of fast twitch. It's a lot of fast twitch muscle. I guess it's always exciting. It's crazy. I get nervous for hurdles, but I never get nervous for sprints because it's such a fun event for me. I love watching it, and it's just crazy how these guys just line up and just their best foot forward and always just produce fast times. It's a beautiful thing. I really enjoy it.
And it's all well in Jamaica at the moment, because we saw Bolt have to make a defence of his coach, and it sounded like there's a little bit of discontent and a little bit of unsettled athletes, perhaps.
Yeah, I think Jamaica's just going through that little phase right now, like figuring stuff out, figuring who is next, who's the next big sprinter. But you know, it's just like I said, Usain Bolt retired and he left a little dent in Jamaican track and field, and you know, it's just that constant struggle and pressure of trying to fill that void. And I just feel like, you know, they really need to just be patient, very patient with the athletes, and allow us to shine our own lights. You know, so it's just Jamaica. The fans are just a little bit uneasy, but you know, we'll be all right.
And final question from me. In the men's sprint hurdles, it looks as though it's absolutely key to get to the first hurdle first, because from there you can apply pressure, you can take the pressure off yourself.
Yes.
Is that how it is? Is that why we get twitchiness and false starts and
Definitely, but I think that's always been my goal going into, just try to use my speed to my advantage in my start to take control, because it's such a contact sport. I always say it, I'm never going to stop saying that. It's such a contact sport, and it's just all about strategy and control. My strategy is to get out and take control and put everybody else under pressure. That's all. That's how hurdling is. So, yeah, my goal is to just get out and just take control and just allow the race to come to me.
we wish you well. Let's turn to
Thank you,
Andre.
sir.
Let's get our two mandatory questions out of the way. Which other events, apart from these two, will you be looking out for over the weekend and the Olympic Games?
Yeah, no, I love watching the hurdles, definitely. Men's and women's, I'd say that's probably one of my favorite events to watch when I'm not competing. And then, of course, probably the long jump. That's really exciting for me to watch, see how far they can jump. So I would say, those two events.
We had a long jump contest. What could you do?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't long jumped in so long, just like high school.
7 meters?
Hopefully, maybe.
Dina?
Me? Oh, I don't know. It'd be a miracle if I got to the pit.
6 meters?
Maybe. I mean, you can. I'm pretty fast, so yeah.
Omar?
You could probably jump 850. Luva could never. He could never. Like, I beat him.
So Andre, there's famous pictures of you goofing around with Bolt at the Rio Olympic Games, but since then hamstring has been the bane of your life. In that time out from the sport, what have you learned about yourself? Are you a good watcher of the sport? Are you good at rehab? Have you been like a caged animal? How's it been?
Yeah, I just learned to grow a lot. Just being out and watching and seeing a lot of stars emerge. You appreciate your journey and you appreciate how much hard work you have to put into come back from an injury. So definitely those are kind of the things I've learned, and I've just been growing, and I'm still young, so I'm just fortunate enough to just be back in here and be back, and now I'm healthy, so I'm just feeling good.
Are you a good watcher? So when you're out injured, do you still keep in touch with the sport, or do you think, oh no, wait till I'm back?
First year, not really. I was like, I didn't even want to watch it. I was like, I was just so devastated. But now, as I came back 2018, I started watching it more, started learning, seeing other athletes come in. So now I've decided, I saw a lot of people, learn a couple of their techniques, people from the start, top end speed. So definitely, I've learned a lot.
And it looks as though your form is rounding in quite nicely. You've gone sub 20 for 200, you're close to 10 flat for 100. Are you happy with how things are?
Yeah, things are going well. I'm happy. Everything is, clicking for me right now, just coming back from the injury. So definitely just looking forward to, the rest of the season and, getting back to where I was and being ready for the World Championship.
And this is a Diamond League where there are heats and finals in the men's 100. Do you prefer that, or would your preference be for one race?
Oh yeah, definitely. I kind of hate the one-off races. Definitely. You get into it more. I feel like I get into more of my running, my technique. As the rounds go, I get better. So definitely, I'm looking forward to the 2 rounds here.
And we always sort of think of men's 100 metres as being the heavyweight boxing division of track and field. What are your impressions of the names that are emerging now in the post-Bolt era, and where do you see yourself in all of that?
Yeah, it's good. There's a lot of people that are just up and coming, and people are coming in running fast times. So I think it's right now it's even. It's anybody's game who can win. There's no true favorite. So I think that's good for the competition, and that's kind of what it is. I feel like. Even though Bolt is gone, there's still a lot of people to fill his shoes and keep the sport going.
And as a Canadian, your trials processes aren't as rigorous as the US trials, which are coming up next week. What's your route through to Doha, and what do you expect from that? And en route, what do you expect from this weekend?
For me this weekend, just trying to run fast. Get myself first sub 10 of the season. That would be very, very good for me. Going into my Canadian trials, and then just try to take back the throne and win the championship there. Being out for the past couple of years, so definitely gotta step up and do that, and then just figure it out from there and figure out where my season will go from there and getting ready for the World Championship.
Have you been following what's been happening to the British sprinter James Ellington, recovering from that really bad motorcycle accident, and he's back in the lineup?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
I've heard from a lot of people, so I think that's great. Him coming back, I'm looking forward to seeing his return. I've talked to him a couple of times. He's a great guy, so definitely looking forward to seeing him just go out there and put on a show and see where he's at. And it's a blessing just to come back and be in the sport for him. So no matter how well he does, I'm happy for him.
Good, thank you. Questions from you? Nobody? Yes.
It's a question for Dina. You're talking about training, working on taking the technical points. What sort of, without giving away the factory secrets, what sort of things are you going to be looking for in this games to sort of improve on and see that develop in time as well?
Well, going into the Summer League, without giving away too many secrets, it's only going to be my third and fourth 100 of the year. So for me, it's very much getting back into the pattern of racing hundreds and getting used to the difference between the 1 and the 2s, because I kind of front-loaded my season with 200s this year, and just going through the motions, making sure that I hit the points under pressure that my coach wants me to do, and just to enjoy it and put on a good show for the crowd.
What would you consider a good performance for you this weekend?
To do well and just hit the points that my coach kind of wants me to hit.
Any more? Yeah, at the back.
Omar,
You in?
you said when you were done with hurdling you might have a go at the sprints. Is that a serious ambition?
It really is. I'm very serious.
How fast do you think you can go in the 100?
Fast enough to beat Andre.
Are you going to do it 200?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. It's my favorite event, actually, the 200.
You should enter it then.
I should, and beat Andre again.
When might you do that? We have a Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in a couple of years' time.
Really?
Might that be?
Yeah, that's the perfect time to go ahead. Mark today.
These people will hold you to account.
They will, and that's why I have to work hard and make it happen. Hold me accountable.
Yes. Yeah.
Just for Dina, obviously it's been a huge summer for women's sport, Women's World Cup and netball. Is it something that you personally feel is growing in the sport, and going into this weekend, do you feel as if there'll be more eyes on you and more girls in the crowd who will be more interested in sport and more wanting to get involved?
Hopefully, that's something that I would hope would happen every single year, and it has been a fantastic summer so far for women's sport. It's not done. We've obviously got the World Championships in October, which hopefully there'll be tons of women across the world wanting to do fantastically in that. But it's been a great summer so far with the Netball World Cup right now and the Women's Football World Cup, and I just hope that people are really inspired, and it's always really nice to be inspiring young people, boys and girls. And I just hope that, we can do them proud and they enjoy watching us. Hopefully that happens this weekend as well.
Yeah. Stick.
Just a question on competing at the London Stadium. I guess it's relevant for all three of you. What that stadium means to you and how much you're looking forward to getting back out there at the weekend. Starting with Omar, maybe.
It means a lot. Obviously, I have a great memory here. I won in 2017, so it's a fast track. The crowd is exuberating. I'm really excited to just go out there and just put on a show for the crowd. I have a huge fan base here, and I love London. It's one of my favorite places, my favorite meets. So really exciting.
Obviously, this is my home Diamond League meet, so I'm really excited. It's always the first one that I put on the calendar. I know that I'm obviously going to be in London and hoping to put on a good show, and I'm running in front of a home crowd. I've got quite a few friends and family coming to watch me this weekend, so I'm super excited. Lots of them haven't seen me run in person before, so I'm excited that they'll get to do that. And it's just always so warm, such a warm crowd, as Omar was saying, and they're always so vibrant and they're so gracious and respectful of all the competitors, and it makes me proud to be representing them in my home city.
And you were famously a kick carrier at the London 2012 Olympics.
Yeah.
Do you speak to your kick carrier in appropriate terms when you're
It depends. It depends. Like now they've kind of changed it because we take our kit off before we go into the into the, what is it called, the track, into the stadium.
That's what it's called.
Yeah,
the
but you know what I
stadium.
mean? We take off all our stuff in the rooms. We don't actually tend to see kick carries anymore, so it's changed a bit more. But yeah, it depends. Depends if I'm nervous or not. It might depend on the energy that I give out. But yeah.
Andre, your memories.
Yeah, this was my first time actually competing in the London Stadium. Since I didn't get the chance to compete at the World Championship, so I hear a lot of great stories. I'm, definitely looking forward to it. I have some family in London, so they'll definitely come out and watch me compete here. So I'm just looking forward to the stadium, the atmosphere, and all the fans. So definitely want to just try to put on a show here.
I think you guys should bring back that mascot also.
Yeah, he's quite expensive. Hero, yes.
Dina, I was just wondering, how nervous do you get performing in front of like your family and like a huge London crowd?
I think I used to get more nervous when I was a bit younger, so maybe like 18, 17 and below, I used to get quite nervous. But I remember once I did Moscow World Champs at like 17, and I remember just kind of being put on the first leg, and I remember I was literally petrified. Like if I could have really run away, I would have. But the team would have been like, "What are you doing?" So, but I've never been. I told myself after that day, I'm never going to be as much of a deer in headlights. I'm never going to be as kind of unprepared and kind of as inexperienced ever again. And after that, my nerves literally just went away because, yeah, I'm not going to be in that situation again. So I used to, but I love it. I'm very grateful to have a passion in track and field, and I'm very grateful that I get to do that right in front of my family, and it's my job, so I don't get too nervous.
Got time for a couple more questions if there are any. Yes, so over here, long journey for the baton.
Pass the makeup, please.
One for Andre. Just wondered how becoming a father has changed you. How do you view the sport now? Do you view it differently?
Oh, yeah, it's changed me a lot. First of all, I've been more responsible for a lot of things growing up. But sport-wise, not really. Hasn't really. I mean, maybe I've become more mature now as an adult, but definitely I don't think it's changed me that much from sport-wise. I mean, other than those couple things. So definitely, yeah, that's all I can say on that.
You've sort of changed your life a bit over the last couple of years. You've relocated your training base, your coaching setup. I mean, has that all been smooth? So far, yeah. I mean, in the beginning it was a little bit tough, changing in atmosphere, changing environments, because, you're so comfortable in what you're used to. But over time I got used to it. It took me, a couple months or so to get used to it. But now, I'm comfortable, I'm feeling good, and yeah. Any more questions? Okay, thank you very much for your attendance. Don't forget we have another press conference at 1 o'clock. We're free now for one-to-ones, but let's wish good luck to all three of our first guests.
Good luck.